All right, guys, we're back again with another great episode of PFREI. I'm your host, Fuquan Bilal, passion for real estate investments. It's going to be a great show today. We got Clint Cooper, Hadley. We're going to talk about it. He got the A's hat on representing.
That's
I told him
right.
he came to the pod with the drippy drip. If you can't see him, he got his collar pop. We ain't even get started yet.
Let's go, man. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Awesome. Yeah, let's give the audience a little bit about your background, and then we'll jump into what's happening in the current marketplace, and we'll take it from there. So, real quick, when did you get started in real estate, and what's your specialty, really?
Yeah, so I've been in real estate for about 3 years now, and definitely specialty is wholesaling. Done a bunch of fix and flipping as well, but for sure focused on wholesaling right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that one of your partners, Rent Bartlett, who's a part of CG, which is the mastermind I'm a part of. I remember when he actually started to focus more on helping investors that are doing the wholesales, helping them with processes, systems, sales, and everything. And I was excited to see him and you guys launch what we're going to speak about today, Padley, which is the coaching course, right? So we was just talking a bit before I press record, and you were telling me you guys are scheduled to do about 34 deals just this month. So let's just jump right into it and talk about what's happening in the market. We know that from last third quarter of last year, there was a sort of transition where things slowed down, interest rates went up, markets pulled back. People were making fun of all the wholesalers out there, like game over, you know. But they don't know it's one more than one bullet in the chamber, right? So now I'm seeing especially the guys that are in the mastermind and the people who are affiliated with them transition to maybe buying on terms or other strategic things to navigate the narrows in this market. So let's speak about that. Some of the strategic strategies you guys are using or sharing with some of the mentees on how to weather the storm through these times.
Yeah, so I mean, we're a wholesale operation. We do list all of our wholesale deals on market. So, a lot of our deals we're selling to, end buyers who are actually purchasing the home with traditional financing like FHA, USDA, VA, and conventional financing. So we're very focused on getting our deals off market and then selling them on market. So it's a little different strategy. I hear the word novations a lot. I don't we don't novate everything that we list on the market because sometimes we'll just get a cash buyer, do a double close, and no novation ever happened. But that's kind of our strategy is like we buy them off market and sell them on.
Got it. So with the coaching program, what does that consist of? So someone is that for anyone who's not only a novice, but somebody's probably experienced can learn a thing or two because you're always a student in this business, right? You never know anything. And when you do feel like you know everything, it's time to move on, right? What does
Yeah,
that look like? Yeah, let's talk
Yeah,
about
so
that a
our
little
coaching
bit.
program, so me, my partner Ren Bartlett, our other partner Tyler Evans, and we've also got a few of our directors in our company at Padley. We've got five total coaches, and basically we run a call every single day. So every day there's an hour long call, and on Mondays it's acquisitions, Tuesdays it's leadership call with me and Ren, Wednesdays is dispositions with me, and then Thursday is marketing and operations with Tyler, our COO, and our director of marketing, Cameron. And then Friday is with our director of recruiting, Bill. So, we're really encompassing, trying to teach people how not only to build a wholesale organization, but to actually build a corporation, more of a corporate structure than, most wholesalers. They might do 1, 2, 3 deals a month, and that's fine. And you don't need a corporation for that. But in order to scale and really build out a big business, you have to build a corporation. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, this is a business, and you have to treat it like that. And so many people just, there's so many mom and pop shops out there that are wholesalers, and people doing one deal every couple months, and whatever. Especially Atlanta. Atlanta's full of them. But to build a real business, you have to become a corporation to do it at scale.
You love it. So let me just repeat back what I just heard. If I don't have wholesaling as a part of my business model, I can actually hire you guys and you'll go through the step-by-step process for marketing, sales, accountability, and basically making sure the culture is intact so that part of the business can grow successfully. And then I'm sure you have those what you just said, the Monday through Friday, where Monday with acquisition calls, Tuesday, I think you said disposition. Wednesday, title transactions. Thursday, marketing operations. Friday, recruiting and careers. So that's a whole business in a box that you guys are having those 45-minute calls. That's 5 calls a week. Wow. So 45 minutes every single day. How long is that for? Like, how long are those calls? Is that just recurring for as long as the person?
Recurring every week, never stops, right? And so like what we've realized is, and we typically won't take someone unless they're doing at least a few deals a month. Like we're typically not going to take a new investor that has no structure. We're not really the coaching program for that, but somebody who's looking to scale is the type of clients we're looking for. And we also offer training, like, they can get their sales reps and get on the acquisition calls with Ren, who in my opinion, he's one of the best sales trainers in the business. On Wednesdays with disposition, they're dispo reps. They can get on with me, who I have experience going from basically, 0 dispo reps, and I was the one sitting selling deals, to now I have 7 disposition reps underneath me. So really just teaching people how to scale and also offering training for their sales reps.
And how can they scale in this market when it's so hard, right? I mean, you still can find deals, but it's very hard. It's not, even actually, I look at before the market took a shift, it still was hard, right? It was tough to do acquisitions, easy to dispo, right? So now it's tough to do um acquisitions and easy to dispo. Did I just say that? It's the same thing, really,
Yeah.
right? Because when the market was high, everybody was going after the same lead, texting, calling, emailing. So it was whoever had the best price or the best terms got the deal. And then you had the retail guy waiting at the end to buy. So I think now it's still everybody's fighting for the same leads and there's less of leads. So it's either a different strategy, everybody's going for the same pain point lead. So what sets you guys apart with what you have going on that's going to help that business scale to kind of generate more leads or whatever? And sometimes it's not only just leads, right? Everybody blaming, oh, I can't find any deals. It could be culture. It could be thing checks and balances they don't have in their processes, deals that they could actually close it through the funnel that they dropped the ball on, that they may have missed or something, right? Marketing strategies wrong. It could be a lot of things that need to be tweaked. I'm presuming that can help those leads generate. That's what's already in a pipeline, right?
Yeah. So, there's a million things that can, cause an organization to struggle, or, whatever it could be. But in my opinion, a wholesale organization, in its most granular form, is just a sales and marketing company. Real estate just happens to be the product. So you get really good at marketing and you get it really good at having a high performance sales team. That's what it takes to scale. And in my opinion, the hardest thing to do when scaling, and the hardest skill to obtain, is the ability to build a high performance sales team. And, it goes back to sales management, the people you hire, the onboarding processes, the training. I think that's probably the hardest skill to develop. But that's also what pays the most, right? So I think that's where people struggle when scaling, is they don't know how to build a high performing sales team. And, luckily I'm partners with Ren Bartlett, who's got that dialed in. And in my opinion, he's one of the best at it. So I think it's just, learning sales management very well, understanding how to build a culture of accountability, and man, just kind of getting a little out of control sometimes. Like, I told people all the time, when scaling, sometimes it's going to feel like the car's shaking a little bit. You're going to get a little out of control. And I think that's important, and that's how you grow, and that's how you learn.
Yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of key parts that you hit on is very important. And there's a lot of people that's just out there, like you said, the lone wolf doing a couple of deals here and there. It's just a lifestyle for them. It's not really a business. So if they're serious and stepping up and turning it to a business, I think it's great to align with you guys that actually have a track record in actually doing it. And you guys are doing this nationwide. There's not any specific areas you're focusing on or market you won't go to?
No, we're not doing it nationwide at all. So like we're basically only in Atlanta and Mobile, Alabama. So we have a small team in Mobile. We have a pretty big team in Atlanta, and that's growing. We have about 50 people total on the team. About half are overseas, half are stateside, and we're continuing to grow. So like
And
every month.
the CEO training of the Padley training.
Oh yeah, everybody across the country.
Yeah, yeah,
Every,
that's what I meant.
so yeah, Wartime CEO is the coaching program. Padley's our investment firm. So Wartime CEO will take a client anywhere in the United States, and we can help them scale their company.
Got it. Yeah, let's give that site real quick. It's
Yeah,
wartimecoaching.com, right?
yeah. So if for me, schedule you can schedule a call with me if you're interested. Type in clint.wartimecoaching.com and you can book a call with me and see if you're a good fit. Basically, we'll go through a little step-by-step process, ask some questions. Again, we're really looking for people that are looking to scale their business, not just start their business, right?
Yeah, what is the criteria of that? Like how many deals does a person have to have done? And then let's talk about cost. Like what does it cost to be in this coaching program?
Yeah, so I mean, it's just very dependent on who the person is, how I feel. Like if I feel like they're taking this seriously and they've got what it takes to scale. Because man, what I don't want to do is I don't want to take someone's money and not give them results. So I've got to feel very confident during that call that I can get them results because of maybe their attitude, maybe they're already doing 5 deals a month and they're trying to get to 10 to 15 a month. I can help that person majority of the time. What I struggle with is people that are in another job or, maybe doing one deal every couple months. I struggle with that because honestly, if they're getting that type of results anyway, they're not truly committed. So, and it basically costs anywhere from 5 to 20K, depending on how long you get and the level of service you're wanting.
That's
So,
that's 5 to 20K monthly.
no, total
Okay.
for whatever. It could be, 3 months. You could get a year. You could get 6 months. So a bunch of different options, and it's very tailored. And I do have a beginner program. It's called our boot camp program. We don't typically advertise it, but for certain individuals who I feel like are really hungry and they're looking to start, I will put them in there. That's obviously one of the cheaper costs. It's 5 to 10K depending on the length.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna ask for that.
our
Because my
wartime say what?
go ahead.
Wartime accelerator program that is designed to scale is going to be 10 to 20K depending on the length.
Got it. Yeah, I was going to ask that because there's some people who, as I mentioned earlier, may want to implement this part in their business. Like I give you an example. When I first joined GCG, I think it was maybe 5 years ago. I'm sitting in a room and it's predominantly wholesalers, guys that transition from short sales to wholesale. They've been grinding it out for years. They built all these systems, funnel leads, and here I come. I knew about wholesale. I mean, I did one here and there, half-ass, a long time ago, and it just really wasn't prevalent in my market. I had leads coming in, so it was no need. But when I got there and I saw these guys making millions of dollars off of wholesaling, doing a couple of hundred transactions a year, I was like, maybe I need to think about adding that strategy, right? So having a company like yours to kind of help me build that arm, like back then, if this was available, I would say, hey, I want to retain you guys, help me put the right systems, processes. People don't understand it's more than just finding a contract and then putting a deposit, finding them, doing some marketing, finding a buyer. It's processes, systems. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it. It's how do you have your CRM set up and a whole bunch of other stuff, I'm sure, behind the scenes that you need. And I had to find out the hard way. I mean, I tried to do it on my own. I sucked at it. I had to shut it down. For
Man,
2 years, I was like, this is not for me, right? Let me focus on what I'm doing, and I'll just tap into the wholesalers in my market to bring me what I need. I don't want to do this. It was too much.
yeah. Man,
Just
that's the beauty. That's the beauty about real estate, right? You can build your business how you want. And there's so many different avenues to make money. So, like, man, you say that, like, that's good. Like, you found out what you liked and what you didn't like. You had a taste of it and decided, hey, this ain't for me, right? And there's plenty of things in real estate that ain't for me either. And talking about mistakes and stuff, man, I have made every mistake in the book and I have all the battle scars to show from it. But luckily, that's kind of how I've grown is by making those mistakes, getting 1% better every day. And, that's a big type of culture we have and we talk about all the time is, man, be a better person than you were the day before. We talk about that in our culture all the time. Be better than yesterday. And if we can do that, man, by the end of the year, we're going to be a different team than we were before.
yeah, it's I think that's key, especially having tools like this in place. I think is important. But yeah, Let's get that website again where they can get in contact with you and get more information. I really appreciate you coming on the show and share that information. If there's anything else you want to add too, please feel free to do so. But what's the website again where they can contact you and set up a discovery call to see what's happening?
Yeah, so it's clint.wartimecoaching.com. Clint.wartimecoaching.com. Basically, we'll get on a little 15-minute interview, see if it's a good fit. And, if it is, we'll do business and we'll try to scale your business. That's the goal. It's like, I'm not going to sign up anyone in our program unless I truly feel like we can get them 10x results. So, but tell me a little bit about you, Fuqua. I got to know real quick. So, we talked last, I think it was 2 CGs ago, and you were telling me about, like, I think you said Columbus, Georgia, maybe Macon, that you were buying some big deals. So you're located in New Jersey, you do fix and flip, but you buy multifamily down here. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah. So we made a pivot 3.5 years ago to the Southeast, primarily in Georgia and Alabama. In Georgia, we're in Macon and Columbus. As you know, Columbus is a military town, and we're in Phoenix
Yep.
City, Alabama, which is 15 minutes away from Macon. So we strategically are in those two pockets because Columbus is next to Phoenix City, and then we're also in Birmingham. So those are the four cities that we're in those states, and we're going deep there from the relationships that we created. We have our CapEx team built out down there already. We're buying anywhere from 40 units to 150 unit buildings. In fact, we have 142 unit under contract now in Macon that we're buying now. Is 98% occupied. It's a great deal in this market to be buying. We're assuming the debt at 5.2%. So it's a really great deal, cash flow from day one. But that's pretty much what we're doing down here. In the Northeast, we're doing fix and flips where I've been investing the last 24 years in New Jersey, 25 minutes away from the city. We're doing a lot of ground up construction and some gut rehab stuff. So we have a hybrid model. We run a fund that we raise capital from accredited investors. And we use that capital to deploy on those assets. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do. And like I said, I tried a few years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago now, no, longer than that, when I first got into CG. That was one of the first things that I tried to do was implement a wholesale division in my company. And we tried it for 2 years and then we shut it down. I didn't have the right butts in the right seat. I know that for a fact. Didn't have the right integrator to kind of run operations and get everything going. We
Yep.
had the outsourced team to the VAs and all of that, and we scaled it up and then we kind of scaled it down. And I learned from that is scale to be better instead of bigger. That really wasn't. It's probably something we're going to look at in the future again, not for wholesaling, just for leads. I think it's a good model um, if you have like a real estate brokerage or something, right? And then you're bringing in deals. So if they don't make sense, and there's not enough meat on the bone, now you can list them, right? So I think something like that may make sense, but I just don't have the capacity to open up shop. I took tally from a few guys at the hot seats and about opening up a brokerage, and it was like, man, don't do it. It's brain damage. You got to be responsible for other people and all that. Plus, you only have capacity to do so many things. So I just want to laser focus on what we're doing.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. And I'm super, that's super inspiring that you're buying deals so close to, where I am because, man, I got to buy some big buildings one day. Like, that's my ultimate goal, right? Is I want to take my retained earnings from Padley and throw them into big assets that, cash flow over time, basically, build my wealth that way. And I haven't had the chance to do that yet, and it hasn't been a focus, but it's definitely going to be a focus in the coming years for sure.
Yeah, it's not difficult. I mean, it's the same strategies you're using to get wholesale deals is the same strategy to get those deals off market, mail lead, texting, calling, whatever you're doing for that, getting the owner. Those are actually probably a little bit better as far as rentals because you can structure seller financing and get some leverage that way, raise a little capital to fill up the gap, and pretty much go from there. They're really flexible, really
Yeah,
flexible.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I definitely want to learn more from you at CG sometime and really pick your brain on how you're picking up the big assets because you say it's the same thing, but man, I don't know if it
It's the
is.
same. It's like the same strategy. It's like it's not the same. Let me correct myself. So similar strategies to get in a lead and getting a deal and tying it up, but I won't say like it's the same thing as far as repairs and construction and the whole logistics and asset management is different from owning a single family home than a multifamily home. Is quite a difference in that. So asset management is the biggest point, and then managing those property managers, right? It's different from a residential property. There's a lot of different things that happens.
Yeah,
You know,
because
in
when
that
you're buying
space,
a
but
build, when you're buying a building, you're buying the management too behind the building, pretty much.
correct. And if
Yes.
they're not good, you got to replace it. You
Yep.
know, it's a lot that go into that as well. So you have to have a strong asset management team and know how to underwrite it. So, but as far as getting the lead, that's what I meant. It's similar to wholesaling. The way that you find a lead, you can find off market multifamily deals as well. I mean, you know how
Yep.
to crack the LLC open, you can get it. You know.
Yep. I love it, man. That's super cool. Super inspiring.
Awesome, man. Yeah, thanks for coming by the show today. I really appreciate it. Another great episode of PFREI, Passion for Real Estate Investments. You guys can catch up on YouTube. If you catch us, please like and share. You can also catch us anywhere where you find podcasts. Clint, thanks for coming on. Tell Ren I said what's up. Really appreciate you guys booking this podcast and giving us the listeners a chance to learn a little bit more about what you guys do and how you could be of service. You guys make sure you check them out. Again, the website, I just had it here, is clint.wartimecoaching.com. Clint.wartimecoaching.com. Make sure you guys check it out. I'm actually on the site now. There's a lot of cool testimonial videos and a little bit more in depth about the services that they provide. So, yeah, man, this looks great. Keep doing what you guys doing. Keep serving the community. And thanks for stopping by the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Awesome.